Welcome to Open for Business, the Gallatin Valley's only local business and consumer talk show featuring Tom Egelhoff, the Man Entrepreneur Magazine radio called the leading authority in the United States for doing business in small town. Here he is, speaker, author, small business consultant, and Mrs. Egelhoff's favorite son, Tom Egelhoff.
All right, welcome everyone. Open for Business. We air every Saturday live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana. If you'd like to be a part of the big broadcast, go to kmmsam.com and click Listen Live. The call-in number during the show, 406-522-TALK, 406-522-8255. I'm here, you're here. Let's get the show on the road.
Let's get back to Open for Business on News Radio AM 1450 KMMS Bozeman. Lines are open at 522-TALK. That's 522-8255. Here he is. He's big, he's bad, and he's open for business. Tom Egelhoff.
24 minutes for the top of the hour. It's Saturday, September 30th, 2017. 60 degrees outside in beautiful downtown Bozeman. I want to welcome you to the podcast portion of Open for Business. Each week I share some tips and tricks I've learned over the years about advertising, marketing, promotion, and building strong, successful businesses. And if you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And while you're here, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel? And you'll never miss another weekly podcast. You'll also find a link to my podcast on my website that 3,000 people visit each day at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. Today's topic, I want to talk about business owners and politics. Business owners and politics. Should business owners have a political position? Well, sure, why not? But should they make that political position public? That's the question. Only the business owner can answer that question, but let's look at what's the worst things that can happen. So here's some examples. Let's say you buy a package of radio ads to play across various stations at various times. One of those ads might end up on a liberal or conservative talk radio show. Depending on the political views of the customer, they might think that you espouse the same views as the host of that talk show, even though the opposite might be true. And because of where that ad is, they may decide to never darken your door again, and you'd have no clue why you lost a customer. Believe it or not, there are people who think this way. What if you have a TV in your business and you have some 24/7 news network on in your business? Your customer might take offense and complain or just leave and never return. Or even worse, you put a political sign up in your place of business. That erases all doubt about your political views. So if you do that, you'll run the risk of alienating some of your customers who might prefer another candidate. Now, there's nothing wrong with that display if you're passionate about your candidate. Just realize it might cost you some business depending on the political demographics of your business location. So what do you do in this situation? Well, let's review my 2 ironclad rules of advertising for the answer. Rule number 1, you never advertise anywhere unless there's at least a 75% expectation that the advertising will produce more in income than the ads cost. Advertising must be an investment. It can never be an expense. Advertising must always pay for itself. It must essentially be free. The only thing that matters is this: is my target market there? If it is, full speed ahead. Rule number 2, and this one is where it gets a little tricky. Rule number 2 says, when logic and emotion come in conflict, emotion always wins. If you don't believe that rule, you can take me down to your local grocery store and show me the dead bird and dead mouse cat food. Now that's logical. Did you ever buy a CD to get one song? Is that logical? One song, $9.95, 10 free. I like it. We make an emotional decision, then we create a logical argument to support that decision. That's how we think across all races, colors, and cultures. If it makes us feel good, we'll move heaven and earth to make it happen. If you learn to play golf and enjoy it, then it's just a matter of time before you go out and buy the best set of golf clubs you can afford. If you fish, you need a boat and a truck to tow it, plus the best rod, reel, and tackle. If you hunt, you need a super state-of-the-art crossbow, shotgun, rifle, or bow. I think you get the idea. So how do, where, and how I advertise play into this political game? Well, in advertising, the emotion of our advertising for our product or service must be more powerful than where the customer heard that particular ad. Not having your product or service must be more painful to the customer than where the message originated. Fear of loss is always more powerful than expectation of gain. Fear is another emotion. And while we're at it, isn't fear what TV news sells 24/7 every day? How do you defend yourself against that customer who's unhappy with your choice of programming and where your ads are found? You might think to yourself, if you hate that show, how did you hear my ad? Now, I wouldn't say that to the customer. The short answer to the question is you can't defend yourself, nor should you try. Because rule number 2 says when logic and emotion come in conflict, emotion always wins. Trashing your business because of where you advertise is not logical. It's emotional. You're not going to change that customer's mind. The best you can do is thank the customer for their information and input. Even that will probably be insulting to them if they're really emotional. So here are the numbers. There are about 3% of the population who are only happy if they're unhappy. Makes no sense, right? It's emotion. When you meet this type of customer, keep this in mind. You're not the only target. If your advertising is the right place, chances are your competitor is there too, if they're as smart as you are. So your unhappy customer is going to dislike your competitor just as much as you. In my opinion, the winner in this head-to-head battle is the advertiser with the best emotional message. The next question, how do you get that emotion out there? Well, let's put politics aside for a moment and talk about what do customers want above everything else. They want to feel something. Usually, they want to feel something good. Donuts are better than push-ups or sit-ups. I have a recliner in my living room. I actually sat in it before I bought it. It felt good. I wanted that feeling in my living room every day more than I did keeping the price for it in my pocket. It was emotion. My first and only motorcycle was a Kawasaki 1000. Why did I choose that particular bike? Because I read in Sports Illustrated that Dick Butkus, linebacker for the Chicago Bears and a boyhood hero of mine, had one. Case closed. Emotion, not logic. The other part of emotion that has to be addressed in your advertising is features versus benefits. A feature is what a product has. A benefit is what a product does. A benefit is what the customer feels. Dead tuna cat food sounds more appetizing and sells much better than dead bird or dead mouse cat food. If you show them the right feeling, it doesn't matter where the message came from. If they really want the product, you're going to get that sale. So whether you're political or not political, how and where you present yourself will have some effect on some of your customers. Remember, emotion is the key to a profitable bottom line. Make your customers feel it, and they'll forget your politics. If not, they may not be the customer you need or want. And that's the podcast. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you'll also find a link to my podcast on my website that 3,000 people visit each day at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. So tune in each Saturday and let's build successful businesses together.